Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad to have you here with me this morning. If you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching on the replay, know that you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out that description box below. All the regular days and times that I stream 5 times a week are listed there. And also consider subscribing with notifications on for when I pop up with additional streams, which I definitely will be doing this week on Thanksgiving, just not sure what time yet. For those of you who are live, go ahead and click that live chat button. I invite you to make any healing requests that you have. They can be general or specific. They can be a little bit more personal or a little bit more general. We're going to go ahead and build a beautiful crystal grid to support your healing requests. And after about 45 minutes of hanging out and doing that, I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send Reiki healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to learn more about my live online Reiki classes, community Discord, social media, and so much more, go ahead and check out that description box below. Thanks again for being here. So I've got some requests already, so let's go ahead and say hello to everyone. Awesome, welcome in everybody. So I started the grid off just a little bit with some of the first requests, and I'll go through those in a moment. Let me just say hi to everybody. We've got Grace, Korakar, Erica, Maria, Maricela, Vincent, Fawn. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that if you have any holiday plans or family plans this week, I hope that they're lovely. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We've got copper, as always, to help get the energy flowing, break up any blockages. We also have today the return of some nephrite jade. This helps with general good fortune, abundance, happy relationships, and really just goodness all around. There's a reason it's sacred in China, lots of them. And so I feel like this good fortune could really help us in so many ways. We also have Celestite by request of Grace. It can be really helpful for any kind of pain, but also connection to our angels so that we can hear their guidance and be a little bit more close with them. It's also helpful for discernment, especially if you're not sure if you're experiencing fear because it's like a warning, or if you're experiencing fear just because it's fear. It can help you kind of decide which it is. Additionally, we have some Amazonite. This stone can be exceptional for, as Grace has indicated, back pain. This is helpful for the spine itself as well as all of the spinal nerves. It's also an excellent stone for caregivers, those who tend to give too much of themselves. This can be a stone that reminds caregivers that they are not only worthy of, but really do just the kind of care that they give others in order to stay within balance. It can also be considered like a good luck charm as well. So if you're looking to, win at something or get a little bit of an edge on something, this can be a great stone. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. There we go. Korakar had requested some flower agate. Flower blossom agate. Flower blossom agate helps us to bloom into the version of us that we are meant to be. Excuse me. And so it helps us to see ourselves bloom into the newest version of ourselves. And white coral, which helps us to follow our soul's mission, our soul's journey, and everything that we feel in our heart that we want to do, to follow that path and not give into the negative self-talk about it. So this helps you to kind of recklessly, well, not so much recklessly, but with a little bit of reckless abandon, kind of follow your dreams, follow your heart, and go in the direction you're meant to. So we'll leave those there for now. And let's see what else we have for requests. So good to see everyone. Maria, good to see you. All right, so we've got Greg and Susan for success. Between self-preservation and desire to help. Yeah, Amazonite can help with that. So can Carnelian. Carnelian is Carnelian is a stone that has a lot to do with the sacral chakra, which is how we relate to other people. So that's relationships in all of its forms, not just romantic ones. Coworkers, colleagues, family, community, all of those things. And, you know, being U.S. Thanksgiving week, I think a lot of us could use that. It's also helpful for healing old wounds around relationships, which sometimes can come out in those ways of almost being too available or not being available enough. Sometimes there's a wound underneath that. If so, this can be helpful. It's also wonderful for things like colds and allergies, which I see that. Korakara, you think you have a cold. I'm sorry to hear that. As well as anything having to do with attracting love and romance and any sexual issues, even fertility it's used for. So there's a lot that this stone can do. I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. There we go. I hope that helps. And let's see what else we have going for Susan and Greg, and also for the rest of us. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some Herkimer. Herkimer helps us to be in the present moment, and it also helps us with the things we're looking to call into our lives, like manifesting. But specifically, this helps us to be a little bit more spiritually aligned with what we're requesting, to find the best version of it for not only ourselves, but everyone else involved, like the highest possible version of what you're looking for support with. So I feel like this can be helpful. It's also helpful for things like metabolism and intuition. So all around wonderful stone. Let's bring that in. I really enjoy it for being in the present moment. Especially when my mind wants to go to all the things I want to do and need to do and the to-do lists, I find that this is a helpful stone. Just enjoying where I'm at in that moment. So that's Herkimer. We've also got, let's see. Return of Patty's Cat, absolutely. And I did see a request for grief. Oh, hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Gotcha, Jen. We totally gotcha. We totally gotcha. Lots of love. Totally do what you got to do. Fertility healing, you got it. That is definitely Carnelian and definitely Unikite, which I will grab for you too. Okay, there you go, Fawn. Grief, releasing emotions, feeling safe, loved, and supported. Jet can actually help. It's supposed to help with attracting pets that have been lost, as well as grief. It's like my favorite stone to use for grief. Jet is, it looks like a stone. It's really not. Well, yes, it is, but it wasn't always. This was a tree at one point. This is a type of petrified wood. This type of petrified wood comes in when it's been like a violent fossilization, usually a volcano or a very hot fire. And this helps us to cope with grief in that like sudden letting go of life to embrace some kind of new form. It can help us to be present with our feelings of grief without pushing them down or being overwhelmed by them, so we can just be with them authentically and work through them at our own pace in a deep and meaningful way. So I'm going to bring this in. I hope that's helpful. Lots of love and peace. For sure, you're always welcome here. For fertility, we've got Unikite. It is considered like widely the fertility stone. but it helps women in all phases of life, especially with hormones, especially if those hormones are impacting metabolism. It can help that. But birth, labor, delivery, menopause, onset of menses, any of those things, this can really support it. It's also thought to help with smoking cessation, which I know a few of our regulars are kind of struggling with, as well as body fluids in general. So if you tend towards holding and retaining a lot of water, this might be a helpful stone for you also. So I'm going to bring that in. One of our favorite stones as of recently. One of my favorite stones since ever. Yay, the return of the copper spiral. Yeah, just changed it up for a bit. Glad to see it back too. Head cold, nerve pain. Oh, healing for your broken ankle and new beginnings, absolutely. Definitely for the cold, we have the Carnelian. I'm also going to bring in some rutilated quartz. This helps to balance mind and body, but when it comes to illness, it gives us a bit of a boost when it comes to energy, and really colds are excellent at zapping our energy. This helps to give us energy as we recover from something, or give us the energy to hopefully fight it off. So it's often linked with any kind of healing, specifically if we want the healing to be targeted towards something, or in the larger case, if a big part of it is being run down, to get the energy you need to move through that illness. So it's very helpful stone. We'll go ahead and we'll bring rutilated quartz in. And I hope you feel better. Broken ankle. There are quite a few stones that help bones, but the one that I use the most is white howlite. This can be thought to help anything having to do with teeth, bones, hair, particularly joints, breaks, dislocations, anything like that, or issues with bone density and calcium absorption. This is often recommended as like a holistic, helper for those kinds of things. I struggle with osteoporosis, osteopenia, and issues with bone density and absorbing calcium, and this is one that I use often for that. It's also helpful for things like anger, resentment, and particularly frustration. With anger and resentment, it can be a really hard emotion to process because it's so explosive. And then when we try to hold on to it and control it, sometimes it just sort of eats away at us. So whether it blows up at someone else or kind of seethes inward and hurts us, either way, it's not helpful. This helps us to sort of be with those feelings and see what's underneath them and deal with them a little bit more appropriately. So, and in a way that's a little bit more empowered. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring in that howlite. And all the best for healing. For sure. So glad you are here. Hi, listen. It's good to see you. Help you focus more and stress less. You also have a fractured ankle in the last stages of healing. Okay, I hope the howlite helps you too. Let's do focus. Thank you so much, Korakar. Joy Hartwell, cutting cords to situations that no longer serve. I love it. It's good to see you, Joy. I hope you're doing well. Intentions, cold symptoms. Wow, a lot of colds. Fertility, money flow, psychic development. Definitely, let's get some citrine going in here. citrine for sure. Citrine is the number one stone of calling in financial abundance, so we'll definitely bring this in. It also helps with balancing logic and intuition. So anytime I'm working with intuition, it's nice to have that. Like sometimes we can, I don't know if it's ever happened to you, maybe it's just a me thing, where we might be working on our intuition, then it's like, wait a minute, what's my intuition and what's my logic creeping in? What am I saying is logic that's really my intuition? And you kind of don't know where one stops and the other starts. This can be really helpful to help you balance that. And when it comes to intuitive stuff and psychic ability, howlite definitely helps, as does celestite. But let's also bring in see, so many good choices. For intuition, let's bring in some moonstone. This can be another very balancing stone. Moonstone is very much connected to divine wisdom and the cycles and rhythms of nature, particularly that of water and anything moon related. If you're doing any kind of full moon, new moon, quarter moon kind of stuff, this is a great stone to have around. But also it helps us to grow our intuition in this connection to the deep wisdom and all-knowingness, but also connection to the earth and the cycles of nature. So it's a very balanced stone of intuition. If you're looking to do any kind of deep studies into things like any older spiritual teachings, up to and especially including astrology, tarot, anything like that, this can be very, very helpful as well. Anything that involves the divine feminine, intuition, also releasing patterns. This can be very helpful with seeing those patterns and helping us to break them down and let them go, as well as even attracting love. So I'm going to bring that in for us. There we go. And for cold symptoms, we've got a lot of colds in here. And something for heart healing too, for grace, absolutely. Cutting cords to situations that no longer serve. Focus and stress less. And Jennifer had some specific ones too. Okay, cool. Relationship trauma and all the layers of it. Carnelian helps, but yeah, I definitely agree with your choices. Let's see. Sorry for all of the searching. Just wanted just the right stone for this. So we have rutilated quartz out there. There's also tourmalinated quartz. Now, black tourmaline helps to repel negative energy and energy that's just not meant for us. The black tourmaline, when it runs through clear quartz, gives it a whole nother energy. And one of the things that it does particularly well is it grounds nervous energy, but also it helps to break up patterns from childhood and any kind of old patterns that no longer serve, which I see is like kind of a theme. It always works that way, where we end up with a lot of overlapping themes at different times because we're just very much working under the same astrology and kind of growing together. This also helps break up physical things like scar tissue and things like that. So if anybody's had a surgery for any of these broken bones and scar tissue is an issue, this can help break that up on an energetic level, as well as any kind of scar tissue. Also helps with those of you looking for more financial resources. This can help with opportunities to earn that money, whether it's a gig or a new job. Either one. Also, just in general, fortune and luck and protection and travel. And it's the most populous travel week in the US this week. So definitely this. Specifically, I'm working today with my green tourmalinated quartz. Reason being, this tends to break up more within the heart center. So our emotional attachments to things that have happened in the past, including and especially childhood stuff. So I feel like this can be helpful for Jen as well. Very much so. Let me bring these in. Maybe I'll swap them. There we go. Awesome. So I hope that helps. Hey, future someone. Wonderful to see you. Sore throat. Absolutely. Yeah, Joy, I think that'll situations that no longer serve the tourmalinated quartz will definitely help, as will for anybody who's trying to like stay attached in those situations, which especially gets brought up around the holidays, is some red tiger eye. This is a deeply protective stone. It also helps us to manifest financial resources, especially in a hurry. But it's anti-bullying, anti-psychic attack. So whether it's like very intentional, like really negative, nasty energy type work, or just somebody's really poopy behavior, frankly, like when people get nitpicky and nasty around the dinner table on a holiday, this can be a good one to help prevent that and kind of undo the triangulation, undo a lot of the gaslighting, helps you to see through it, and it just helps kind of like let it be seen for what it is and knock it off. So I hope that this helps in all of those ways. So if you're drawing boundaries and somebody is just stepping all over them, this can be a good one to help, especially if by letting go of old patterns that no longer serve, it really triggers someone to sort of act out or lash out. This is a good stone. Kind of put the kibosh on that. Awesome. Sore throat. You're so welcome. So let's see. Sore throat. Focus. Sore throats for certain, blue lace agate. And I have quite a bit of it here. These little pretty ones. Blue lace agate is a gentle, calming, healing stone for the throat, the physical throat, as well as the energy of the throat, which is expression, communication of what you do, who you are, true self-expression as well. This can help with things like even like tension headache, but really it's thought to help sore throats, and especially if you get a sore throat from allergies, asthma, colds, things like that can be very helpful. So communication and also just anything physical of the throat. I hope this helps. Okay. We also have, and this is good for a tension headache too. If you're just like carrying your stress to the point that you feel it in your head, it can help with that. Tiger eye is fantastic for focus. It helps us to see the larger patterns too of what's going on, but it can help us to even not only see the larger patterns, but to hone in on what's going on. It's almost like a laser focus into what's happening and to what's taking place or what you want to learn about. It's long associated with studying research and even like detective work and finding those minute details. So I hope that this is helpful for you. So red tiger eye and gold tiger eye. Hey, ABC, good to see you. Yeah, there's a lot of viruses going around. You've been looking for a red tiger eye slab? Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. I'm so glad you found us too. Listen to me, I'm so glad you found us. Okay. Oh, ABC, I'm so sorry to hear that. I would say ABC, healing for not attaching to the incident, is Amazonite, like caring for self-care, knowing that you need that self-care. It can help with boundaries to an extent, but also Carnelian, and I hope that that helps. And as well, red tiger eye can help us to kind of keep our energy separate, as well as I might even put some black tourmaline around for you. Pyrite, Nuummite, and Peridot. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Rhodonite, honey calcite, and any agate. Rhodonite is such a common one here, and we use it often because it really is so powerful for the heart center. It helps us to heal grief and lost love, unrequited love, love that we wish we could have and we never will, like from a parent, that kind of thing. Can help all of those. It's also good for lungs and allergies and asthma and potentially colds as well. It can also help folks that have insecurities from belittling and any kind of emotional abuse, like browbeating, that kind of thing. People who get picked on in the family. So again, good thing for the holiday week, but in general, it's a very potent heart healer, especially when it comes to the experiences of things like conditional love, love lost, unrequited love. It keeps diving off, so maybe for now we'll put it here. We'll see where it ends up in this grid. Okay, Nuummite helps pent up anger, as well as tidiness. This is a great one for anybody who's struggling with standing up for yourself, which can also be a lot of the requests I'm seeing in the chat for sure. Yeah, definitely standing up for yourself, and having patience as well. So patience is a virtue, and it's one that's in short supply. Life moves quickly. I don't care where you are from or where you live. This helps us to be more patient, but it definitely helps to improve our situation of experiencing what our needs and expressing that, what our needs are, and standing firm in that, as well as tidiness and things like that too. Often thought to connect to tendons, ligaments, things like that. So those of you with broken ankles, I don't know if that's a factor in your injury, but it could help with that. And after Nuummite, we have Peridot, which helps us to break up bad habits and cycles, which future someone knows how to read the room even when they're running a little bit late. Oftentimes you read my mind. I was actually thinking about Pyrite and Dumortierite earlier, but we've had a lot of requests for like breaking ties that no longer serve, breaking up bad habits and old thought patterns, and being open to healing and finding a new way of looking at things. Peridot is all of that, while very much supporting the heart center. Well, it depends really on the color of the peridot. Most often we think of it as green, but it does come in many other colors like blue and orange. So yeah, beautiful stone. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that here in the spiral. Why not a little bit more? Can't hurt. And Pyrite is helpful for energy flow, bringing in financial abundance. It's fool's gold brings in real gold, is a kind of a way I like to think of it. It's very protective. It does help the lungs and with fever too, if any of you happen with that. But anytime that we are receiving energy, it helps to break up the blockages, get the optimal flow going, much like copper does. And it's a great intuitive stone. It balances and clarifies what's coming through in the intuitive connection. And we have honey calcite amethyst. And there's definitely a stone for that. You're welcome, hon. You're welcome, ABC. Okay, so let's see. Let's do honey calcite. Optimism, especially in really challenging times, it can support a lot of the factors that we've kind of had coming up today around boundaries. It helps with balancing the sacral and the solar plexus. I think this can be really helpful for Vincent as well. It helps with balancing the center of relationships, how we relate to others, along with having a balanced sense of self and our own, not only self-identity, but our needs and our freedom to move forward, not out of obligation, but out of our desires. So it helps us to balance how we relate to the community and those around us, and how we show support for ourselves. It also can be really helpful in attracting good people that will be in alignment with those sort of boundaries, if you want to put it that way. It can help with attracting colleagues, friends, neighbors, whoever's flowing into your life that also resonate at that same space, that, here's the space I want for me, here's the space I'd love to share and offer to overlap with you. And yeah, it can be wonderful for that. I think it's a great choice for Jen for everything you have going on. Also just optimism even in challenging times in general. Agate of any kind. And amethyst. Let's start with some amethyst. This helps with connection to spirituality and the concept of sort of divine path, divine wisdom. It definitely can help with sleep, which I see the request for there, especially when sleep is sort of disturbed because it's like our mind keeps racing, that kind of thing. With amethyst as well, it helps us with knowing what's our responsibility and what we need to take care of, and what's other people's responsibility and theirs to take care of, and honoring that separation, which is why it's very much linked with the 12-step programs. And when you think of the serenity prayer, changing what you cannot accept and accepting what you cannot change, that idea of personal responsibility, but without over responsibility. So it can be really helpful for that. And also, it's just a wonderful, light, bright, spiritual stone that it can offer an air of peace anywhere that it happens to be. So let's put it under our jet here. Okay. And agate of any kind. Let's see. So many good choices. I'm going to go ahead and bring in black and white striped or banded agate. This can also be a good one for grief and moving through things that are very challenging emotionally to move through. It helps to bring the light to the dark places and weave that through so that there can be a bit of a balance. So we're dealing with whatever is truly heavy, but at the same time, bringing that levity into it so that we can continue to move through it. When we're moving through difficult things, we don't want to just pretend it's not happening, and we don't want to focus on the positive to the detriment of the reality that's around us. This allows us to just bring in enough light so that we can keep making that step forward. It doesn't feel too dark, too heavy. It keeps us on path for things like what some might call shadow healing, or deep soul healing, deep traumatic type stuff, but allowing us to take those breaks and feel love of universe, feel that there's definitely in the loss of some things, there's now room for other things. It's very much related to like the death card in tarot, endings and beginnings. So we'll bring this in. Yeah, dumortierite can be very helpful for trauma and grief. You're absolutely right. Gemstone best for bringing in clients. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah, we've got that. And then I see a lot of anxiety and nervousness was mentioned by Joy. So we'll bring in those two stones and then we'll move on to the next piece. So for bringing in those customers, which I mean, definitely is me. It definitely is a lot of people. This is definitely a retail week and not just in the US, very much a global thing. A lot of the globe anyway. But this is cinnabar. Cinnabar is thought to attract customers, and this has been used for thousands of years to do that, to bring in customers, financial abundance. You don't see it used too much now because we know how dangerous it is because it is mercury. You can see that I'm trying not to touch too much of the red on this specimen. No direct water infusions with these. I don't recommend direct water infusions anyway. If you're into that sort of thing, you know, you do you, but I know a lot. I've learned a lot about the gem industry from having my practice on Jewelers Row in Philadelphia and the jewelers being kind enough to really share their wealth of information. I mean, generations long information on how the gem industry works, how stones are treated long before they get into the hands of who might be processing it for us, but especially this stone. If you do see cinnabar in a shop, you will usually see it as the one here, this sort of grayish stone that barely has any little hits of red. That's because it's got the most minimal amount of actual cinnabar. But this is a better example of it here. Cinnabar, again, is thought to attract customers and all of that, but it can cause some significant damage on a physiological level. So be very careful with that. I would recommend maybe not having it in the house if there's any chance little ones or little furry ones could get a hold of it. So yeah, absolutely. And also, so all the best. Retail blessings, everyone, especially those of you with small businesses. I'll go ahead and use this opportunity for a shameless plug. If you're in my Discord or if you are on my email list, you're going to be getting access to some really nice coupon codes that are not going to be available elsewhere, though there will be sales on my social media and stuff too, for my crystal shop, and also for gift certificates with online distance Reiki and tarot readings one-on-one with me. So if you sign up for either of those, the links are in the description for my email list as well as my Discord. And these are from... And so it's learnreikiphiladelphia.com. There's also going to be gift certificates for Reiki classes that are live online. This is Dumortierite. This actually comes from Jen Vatsa's crystal shop, which you can find online. She's on Etsy. It's Belladonna Botanicals. So definitely. So yeah, retail blessings, everyone. Sorry. This here is green calcite. Green calcite helps with anxiety and nervousness. It eases all of those things. It's very calming and reassuring, especially when we just feel overwhelmed with anxiety or tension. When we're holding those feelings of anxiousness and nervousness in our body and our body tenses up, this can aid in releasing that and any of the pain that comes with it. So whether it's a tension headache or you get a neck ache or a backache when you get really stressed out, this is a good one. It's also thought to be good for the physical heart in that way, like where nervousness can definitely impact the cardiac health. So I'm going to bring this out too. Okay, so now we're going to do that thing where I look at all of your requests. I pick a couple of stones that I think would be exceptionally helpful. You all will vote on them, and I never know how that vote will go. And then we will get into the healing. So bear with me one moment while I take a peek through and see what crystals kind of support the overall vibe. You are not limited to just one vote, so you can even start now, hint, hint. But yeah, chat amongst yourselves. I will be right back. All right, so already have the votes. We're so efficient. All right, so the first is a stone that is like so near and dear to my heart. Well, it's a specimen. It's not just one stone. This is excellent for stress reduction, calming, anxiety, and all of that kind of relief. And it is a specimen. It's another one that can be very dangerous on a physiological level. This is a combined specimen of cerussite, barite, and galena, which are all, especially barite. There's a lot of lead in here. Barite and galena really, I would say Ceresite, any of these, do not put in water and drink them. Yes, I'm from Philadelphia, and a lot of our water pipes are still made of lead. That doesn't mean it's a good idea. It just means that that's what we've tolerated this long. But yeah, barite is this sort of pinkish white. Galena are the sort of graphite-looking pieces, and Ceresite are the crystals. So it's thought to be very calming. Of course, not within the body. It actually does the opposite. So spiritual quality is very calming. And the other is Nuummite. Nuummite is similar in qualities in a lot of ways to the black and white banded agate. This is a very old stone. This is like 3 to 4 billion years old. It's mined only in Greenland, and you'll see that it's got these aspects of like flash within all of that sort of matte blackness. And it's thought that Nuummite helps us to, like when we're going through something, that we can continue to go through that, but as we do that shadow work or deep internal work, whatever it is that we're moving through, that we also get these glimmers of inspiration from the divine. So, and also like reminders from spirit that we're not alone. So Nuummite, and you can just say like specimen if you can't remember all of those: barite, Ceresite, Galena. So go ahead, cast your votes. You're not limited to just one. And yeah. Oh, and we do have pyrite. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly explain a little bit of what Reiki is, what to expect, and then we're going to go right into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, my name's Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I've been teaching Reiki for about 14 years now. You can learn more about my live, online, small size Reiki classes. The descriptions and the links and all of that are in the description below. But the style I work with is known as Usui Reiki, which is named after this system's founder. And Mikao Usui created this particular method or approach in the early 1920s in Japan. And while the elements of this particular method are based in multiple different cultural aspects that impacted him, he was a Tendai Buddhist monk. He grew up in Japan as a child of in the samurai tradition. He was born into a samurai family. He studied many other things, from indigenous forms of shamanism to Taoism and Confucianism. He created this particular way of working with energy in a way to connect with modern folks in Japan at that time, at a very difficult time in their history. The very concept, the core foundational concept of what energy is and how it works, we see very much in the indigenous spirituality from Japan known as Shintoism. In Shintoism, everything has a soul. Everything is interconnected. We are all interwoven. The concept of Reiki, which translates to spiritually guided soul energy, is one of the energies or frequencies, we don't really have great words for it in the West, is one of the forces that moves between all people and everything on Earth. We all have access to it right now, and it's flowing through all of us right now. Essentially, what I'll be doing with this technique that he has created is connecting to that energy and directing more of it to you to support your body, mind, and spirit in whatever way that balance needs to come through. Practices of working with this energy have existed in every culture long before written language, spoken language. But this particular method is fairly new and also very secular, which is why it kind of resonates with us here in the West. Like I said, I'll be connecting to that energy, directing more of it to you. Your body, mind, and spirit are already working with this energy all the time. So simply having an abundance, like more of it, will allow all of that to do kind of a better job. Sort of like rinsing off the driveway. Eventually the rain will come. It will happen. But when we take a little bit of a power washer to it, it amplifies what can be done. Similar concept here. So what do you need to do? Not a darn thing. You can go ahead and get in the most comfortable position you can find for yourself and just be. You can close your eyes if you'd like. You can lay down, sit up. You can move around or be still. If you'd like to integrate some other practice into this time, you certainly may, whether it's, excuse me, journaling, stretching, music, whatever works for you. This is your time to do for you. But if you're not sure what else to do, if you don't have a clear idea, I suggest just relaxing, getting cozy, closing your eyes, take a deep breath. You don't have to tell your mind to be quiet, and you don't have to focus on anything. You can simply be. If you're not sure if what's coming up is intuition or your subconscious in a helpful way, or if it's just sort of mind chatter, just take a deep breath in and out. During your session, you might feel things on the physical level, like within your body. You may feel emotions beginning to shift, move, or come up. You may have some inner insights or even some divine insights and some intuitions, or more than likely a combination of the above, of all the above. Or you just feel really sleepy and then you have a great nap. Whatever it happens to be for you, enjoy your session. There's no wrong way to enjoy this time. I will be sending this Reiki to you for 25 minutes, and at the end of your session, you'll hear my voice welcome you back in and invite you to take a deep breath and come on back to the chat, which I will have reopened, and you'll be able to, at that time, ask any questions or share any experiences that you want. You can, it actually doesn't matter where you are in relation to me in terms of miles or kilometers, because we're all interconnected. It also doesn't matter where you are in terms of time. So if you're watching this in the future, hello from the past, you're going to be able to experience this energy in just the same way. And if you are here live and you want to enjoy this healing again at any point in time, you can just drop into our past healing live streams and just either sit through all of the awesome chat around crystals or just skip ahead to where you see the lights shift downward and just enjoy the healing energy. I'll turn up the music, so if you want to learn more about the content creator who developed this music or visit her channel, you can do that. She's linked in the description. And you'll also notice that the lights will move gently and slowly through several different colors. They will not flash or strobe. So thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with all of you. I hope you have a beautiful session, as all of our individual energies are kept separate, protected, but allowing the best, highest good Reiki energy to flow and be ultimately available on the highest level to every single one of you. So let's go ahead, see what won that vote, and then we will go into this session. Oh, is it both? Wow, that's such a surprise. It's never both. It's always both. So let's see, what do we have here? Let's do Carnelian there. Or maybe, does it fit here? Yeah, let's do Carnelian here. Oh, maybe I'll do... So many choices. Let's do the Nuummite. You're so welcome, future someone. Have a great day. Okay. All right. I'm done playing now. Everybody go ahead, relax, get comfy, and remember you can get up, move around anytime you need to. It's not going to hinder the flow of the energy. Enjoy your session, and I will see you again shortly. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start to come back. I hope you had a beautiful session. If you have any questions or anything to share, go ahead into the chat. The foster kittens have decided that they wanted to be part of the session and the event. You can see them now. Are you stepping on your sister? Don't step on your sister. You're so welcome, Jen. You're so welcome, Korakar. Your cat is belly up. Here we go. Thank you for the visit. Here, you want a little more Reiki? Yeah, your cat relaxed with you too. That's really, really common. The animals know. They know what's going on. You're very welcome, Joy. Oh, beautiful. Listen to me. That sounds very like third eye-ish to me. That's like your intuitive center. Oh, wow. And you're welcome, ABC. It's good to see you. All the best to your friend. Oh, Fawn, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that, Fawn. Oh. Oof. This one's like giving kisses, and so's the other one. If you'd like, go ahead and go to one of the go ahead and check out one of the past live streams and kind of sit through it again. Maybe it'll calm you back down. You're so welcome. Listen to me. You're welcome here anytime. I'm here 5 times a week, same times. I'm here Tuesdays at 10, Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Fridays at 4 and 8, and Sundays at 8, and then some additional pop-up streams, which you can know about if you subscribe with notifications on. Yeah, what you doing? Yeah. Oh, wonderful to see you all. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. All those times are East Coast US, by the way. It's wonderful to see everybody. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, and that anyone who's traveling, I hope that you get to where you're going with as much ease and peace as possible. I'm going to go ahead and wind things down now. Give the cats the attention they demand. And I do hope to see you again soon. So take care and bye for now.